And now we have a Heartline from Magot in the United Kingdom.
I wanted to share that I have been keeping an eye on spaceweatherlive.com, and I noticed that around the time that we became anxious about the July 5th tsunami that was predicted by Rio Tatsuki and numerous others, which was addressed by our beloved Ultimate Master when she said that we could even avoid the tsunami in Japan, in the message, the simple little screw that can save our home planet, the solar flare energy was surprisingly low, mostly B class. When the time of the event passed, and thus we started to feel that it was not going to happen, the graph rose into C class and has stayed there. Master has once mentioned that people became more God-fearing and their souls became better around the time of a forecast typhoon, but then afterwards they went back to their original state. Master has warned how to stay safe and to pray for the people of Japan in early July. I wonder if many people who were afraid because of this prophecy prayed sincerely, and this improved the atmosphere of the planet a little, thus meaning that the three most powerful could save us from that terrible disaster. But now that the predicted disaster seems less likely, the prayers have stopped, and I presume that is what has caused the solar flaring to increase again. In Master's conversation with the King of the Sun, she said that the King told her that the prayers do reduce the karma of the planet, and thus the amount of damage that must be done to Earth. It seems then that the amount of solar flaring is directly proportional to the God-fearing goodness in the hearts of humans. Of course, we would have been burned up by now if it wasn't for the green shield that Master and the Peace People placed around our planet, and it's odd to see on the space weather graphs that things were very quiet on the Sun around the time that we were expecting a very big disaster and thus praying very hard. May we all pray plentifully, as it would appear that the three most powerful can make good use of it to save us from the most terrible disasters. Dear Supreme Master TV team, as I mentioned in my previous Heartline, I have been keeping an eye on the space weather news and have previously noticed that the amount of solar flaring seems to be directly related to the humility, repentance, prayerfulness, and respect for God that humans are practicing at any given time. I noticed this around the time of the July prophecies when we feared for the Pacific region, and the improved atmosphere of prayerfulness and God-loving caused the solar flaring to reduce to B class as it had been mostly in the C class. When the world realized that the colossal disaster was not going to happen, the prayerfulness reduced and the satellite graphs increased to mainly show C-class solar flare activity, with the regular spikes into M-class and some of them even come close to X-class, which can be dangerous. Even the M-class caused electricity blackouts in 2 whole countries prior to the protective green shield that Master has bestowed upon the planet. On September 11th, I was happy to notice that the graphs are reading B-class again, and I'm wondering what happened. Perhaps humanity has awoken its spiritual wisdom and practice again. I wonder whether it is because people fear the blood moon as an omen. There are many disciples in Ulac, Vietnam, where the blood moon was visible, and perhaps the prayers in this part of the world were sufficient to quieten the sun's flaring through the grace of the three most powerful. Thank you, Supreme Master TV team, for the daily news stream, which brings us many fabulous nuggets of timely and useful information in which our beloved Ultimate Master has shared that the blood moon is indeed an omen of suffering due to food and water shortage from a big earthquake. How truly amazing that these terrible omens can actually cause world protection and upliftment due to the three most powerful magnifying our little human prayers into a truly awesome force. We thank, love and praise the three most powerful for their endless grace bestowed on our little blue planet. Margot from the United Kingdom.
Affable Margot, many thanks for your observations regarding the sun flares. They are both informative and insightful. There are promising signs that the world's energy is shifting in a positive direction as humankind grows more reverent. Rising numbers now realize the necessity of remembering God daily and are praying and meditating. As more individuals become vegan and seek to be virtuous, there are fewer conflicts. As we've seen recently, those that do start end quickly. We see more stringent laws against animal-people cruelty, and there is heightened environmental awareness. Of course, we are not yet where we need to be. It takes enormous power to shield our world from the immense karmic retribution resulting from animal people slaughtering over millennia. The Trinity most powerful can help us to a certain extent, but should we continue to deliberately close our eyes to the truth of the ongoing violence and taking of lives, we will have to face the tremendously harsh consequences of our actions. As the saying goes, God helps those who help themselves. May divine wisdom shine upon you and the compassionate people of the United Kingdom to help create a beautiful paradise on earth for our animal friends. Supreme Master TV Team.
Vegan side effect: don't just love your neighbor, love all on earth.
We welcome your Heartlines, stories, and/or cute loving animal people clips. Please send them via suprememastertv.com/Heartline.